All right, I want to invite our panel to come up here. We've got some great women that are going to answer your questions. And girls, as everybody comes up, whoa, your questions are incredible. And I wanted to get to every single one, and we're not going to be able to. And I hate it, but we're going to do our best to get to as many as we can.
And we have online questions as well.
Yes, we do. Thank you, ladies, for submitting those as well. I'm so grateful that you're a part of this. We've got questions all over the place. Some of them made me laugh out loud, and some of them made me want to cry. And I wanted to keep like every single one. So welcome, ladies. You got some mics you can pass. Okay, here is the first one. This is from someone online. Said, mothering is all-consuming. And I feel like I've lost a little bit of who I am as a person. How can I mother well and nurture, but also at the same time rediscover who I am as a woman now?
So good. So good. Well, I think you just have to keep looking and keep deciding that you're going to do that. I know with my kids transitioning, I looked around and I'm like, I kind of want to do this thing. And kind of pay attention. I love those two words put together, pay attention to maybe what you're thinking about on the inside. And when my kids, I realize I'm in a different phase than some of y'all, but as my kids were thinking about college, one night my daughter was up talking about her college plans, and I wanted to kind of go back to school and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And so she left, and I looked at Joel, I'm like, what if I just did it? What if I just did it? And so this past year, I finished up my undergrad, and I'm going to start my master's on a week from Monday. And I think you pay attention. What would you guys say to that?
Give yourself permission to follow a passion.
Yes.
It's okay if you just need to dip your toes into reading again, or if you need to dip your toes into...
Yes, don't go get your master's. Just read. Yes. Oh, my word.
It's okay to start small.
Yes. Good grief.
Or go big.
That was such a bad first example.
No.
Just go read a book.
Yes.
Yes, that's so much better.
Give yourself a passion, and give yourself permission to follow that passion. It could be a 10-minute in the evening before bedtime routine that you want to start doing. It can be something simple. It doesn't have to be a grand gesture.
Yes.
To rediscover yourself.
Yeah.
That is so good. Oh, yes, something was watching.
So there was a season for, let's call it like 12 years, where I was like, this is my life. I don't have a hobby. I do have good friends. Mm-hmm. So apparently my hobby is like drinking coffee with my friends. I literally Googled hobbies for moms. And then I read through all of them, and I was like, I don't want these hobbies. I don't want to. So I don't want to make sourdough. I do now, but I didn't then. And that's okay. I needed to just know that this season would pass. And maybe my hobby was watching Real Housewives of whatever city when my kids went to bed. And that was okay. That was okay. And now, 12, 14 years later, I have some hobbies. Mm-hmm. And I'm finding that again. But I think it's also okay to say, no, you're a mom and you are not just a mom.
Yeah.
Like, you get to do that. And I think that the world tries to tell us that that's not enough.
I know. But Kayla, I love that you asked the question. What could I do?
Yeah.
And you just got curious.
Google.
I love that.
So then I knew when I had the bandwidth.
Sourdough.
Yeah.
It was time.
Well, that was out of desperate measures for being gluten-free. But no, then I knew, okay, when I have the bandwidth, like there's options out there that I can do and find me or a newer version of me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Our next question is, how can you encourage grown kids to follow Jesus when leading by an example did not feel like enough and they have been hurt for multiple reasons? And this woman shares a very specific one, but yeah, what do you do?
Oosh, that's a good question. Why don't you go, Jessie?
Okay. For me, it's allowing my kids to see me in my faith, in my walk with my faith, and not pushing it on them. I could demand that they come to church with me, but if I did that, then it would be them having to have a walk with the Lord through me, because it would make me happy. And I don't want that. I want them to be able to discover their own relationship with the Lord. And in order for them to do that, I would rather them have a personal relationship with the Lord, because they feel the love and they feel the grace and they are exposed to it, because they see the way that my husband and I both walk with the Lord. And they see us, I'm a deacon here at Harbor. My husband is an elder here at Harbor. And so they see us going to our meetings on a monthly basis. They see us coming to church even when we're tired, whether it be the early service or the late service. And we invite them in. We don't force them in.
Does anybody else have any thoughts?
You have big kids too?
I do. It's don't stop praying. Don't stop. I feel like a song should be written with those words or something.
I'll tell. Next time I see Matthew West, I'll say something.
Please
about it.
do.
Okay. We want to talk about marriage, okay? Can we? It's so different when the kids come into the picture, and it's so sweet beforehand to be like, you're going to be such a good dad. And then you're like, I just don't want to see your face right now. This woman said, this is so honest. What do you do when you resent your spouse for not being able to do things God designed for you to do, like breastfeeding? It's so honest. I love it. But even if you're not just going to answer that in particular, what do you do when resentment is built up or things with the kids cause division, and then you look over and you're like, I kind of remember you? What do you do? What do you do in those seasons?
I'll answer. Is this mic on? Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's a battle, that enemy is after our marriages. And so I think as wives, we have to intentionally fight. And when that resentment rises up, just being grateful is what I found. And being able to look and see, the little things, that have nothing to do with filling my needs, but he's filling other needs, He's filling the needs of providing for our family. He's filling the needs of loving our children. And just because my needs aren't filled, and then I have this resentment, focusing on the opposite and just saying, no, look at all these other things that he's grateful for. And then also being able to communicate how I feel, without the drama, without the drama. So, yeah.
I would add to that with the little trend that's happening right now. We listen and we don't judge, right? Which is kind of fun. But also I think seeing God and seeing the nursing and all the things that we feel resentful about, seeing them as worship instead, and just really praising God in those moments, even when we don't necessarily feel like it. I believe that the Lord really blesses that as well.
Also, share your truth with your husband. It's really hard for my husband to play guess what's in Jesse's head. And so I've found that when I share my truth, it usually leads to a better outcome.
So honesty. Oh yeah, please.
I had a moment with my husband a month ago where he was just sitting being still. And I
How
looked at him
dare
and
he, right?
I was like, what's that like? That's literally what I said. And he was like, what? And I said, no, that right there. You're just sitting there. What is that like? And I said, you can just sit there and there's you're not thinking about all the things that I'm thinking about. And he was like, it's pretty great. And in that moment, I was like, we were created differently. And then maybe, instead of me resenting him for the way that God created him, I can celebrate. Usually, genuinely, sometimes oh, good for you. Wow. I'm just going to keep doing this laundry and doing all the things. But I think that there's beauty when we realize God did create us differently. And he put you together for a reason. He put me with a chill guy who can just sit there so that he can say, just come sit. And so I think there's beauty in it when we stop trying to fight it.
So helpful. Our next question is from someone online who said, how do you deal with the mom guilt? We know the enemy uses it. We've talked today about how so many times we mess up and we're not enough, but what do you do when it comes for you? What are your tactics?
The first thing that comes to mind is you got to find your people. You got to find your people. Because mom guilt is always going to be a thing. It's just always going to be a thing. Always. There's not a one and done. You're not going to just be like, oh, I have figured this one out. No, you've got to go, all right, if I run into Jesse, okay, Jesse, we're going to be okay. The fact that I don't have all the food ready in the house at any given moment, it's okay. You've got a Coca-Cola fridge. Here, this is, okay, so you want to tell some like mom guilt. Jesse's got a soda fridge in her garage.
That's purposeful.
That's purposeful. So I'm like feeling mom guilt. Like when our kids were younger, I'm like, they'd come home from the Tangumas going, oh man, they've got we can get soda anytime at their house. I'm like, well,
sorry, Julie.
No, I don't say it. No. I'm just saying.
I wanted to draw the teenagers in.
Exactly.
I wanted
and
them
so you
at my house.
And so you find your buddy and you go, okay, thank you for being so cool. Thank you for being another adult in my kid's life that's super cool. I don't need to feel jealousy of you. That's ridiculous. That's awesome and life-giving. And just find your people.
And I would say, speak it out. Say it out loud. Say it to those people when you're feeling that guilt. Because once you get it out of here, it gets out there and people can speak truth over you. So don't let it nestle.
Oh, that's really good. This one's really poignant for what's going on in the world. At what point or age do you think we should talk to our children about LGBTQ people? Do you have any tips? Have you had any conversations? Anything you guys have tried? Because this is really something we're all dealing with in our homes.
I don't know if there is a perfect age for this. I have a very good friend who was in my wedding who married her wife and just a few years ago. So my kids were able to walk through this and with us. And for us, we were able to explain to our kids, like, we love this person. And if this is the choice that she is going to make, this is the way that we can support her because we love her and we're not here to be the judge. That is on the Lord and that is between my friend and the Lord, and no matter what, I'm going to continue loving my friend. And I was able to explain that to all of the ranges of my kids and base it in love. And that's just my personal opinion on it because I have a deep personal connection with this person, and no matter what her choices are that she's going to make, I'm going to love her. And I wanted my kids to know and understand that no matter what people choose around them, it's not their choice to be in charge of. That is something that the person is dealing with between them and the Lord, and we don't get to judge the way that the Lord loves his people.
Yeah.
It's a hard topic. Anybody else have any other thoughts?
It's hard.
Yeah, I don't know that there's a perfect age at all. They're gonna walk through it in different ways than you or I ever have because they've got a different experience and they're walking through things so differently. And again, I guess I would just go back to going, for Joel and I, this is who we are. Right. This is who we are. This is what our house does and who we say that we are. And we're going to stand in that and we're going to love the tar out of anybody that God brings in our life. But you better love Jesus. Love Jesus for yourself. Love Jesus with your man. Love Jesus with your kids, and love other people around them. Love other people around them.
Yeah, and probably have a home where those conversations are welcome and open because they're going to need to have a place to talk about that. Mm-hmm. These two are kind of similar, but they talk about like not repeating a dysfunctional mother-daughter relationship. I don't know if any of you have a challenging relationship with your mom. And then I think this is an older woman said, what can your mom, what can she do to be your best supporter in this season? So can we talk about mother-daughter relationships? Maybe a dysfunction there, what you wish you'd had, and maybe how to create a good relationship with your girl.
I heard this phrase a long time ago, if it's not one thing, it's your mother.
No.
But it's kind of crazy. The mother-daughter thing is kind of crazy.
Can I just say, first of all, there's like t-shirts and stuff that say Jesus and therapy. Jesus is great. Scripture is great. The truth and the hope that the living word of God gives us is unmatched. But he also provided professional help for those dysfunctional situations.
Yes.
And I believe there's power in that. And we need to be willing to do the hard work and trust God while we're doing the work in those dysfunctional relationships. So if that's you, if you're in that, don't shy away from any sort of family therapy or professional help or healing, personal healing that comes from therapy. With Jesus, of course.
Yeah.
But I just want to put that out there. I don't want you to just hear us be like, pray harder.
Yeah.
No, like there's tangible things that you can do to reach the goal that you want to do to get healing.
For the grandmas in the room, can you guys answer the part of what would help as far as being a great supporter if you've got an adult daughter who's like entering that season? Like, what did you guys need? What did you need in that season? Entering motherhood.
So you're asking what older moms.
Sorry, I was so confusing. Okay, what did you need when you were becoming a mom from your mom?
Mine is kind of silly.
Ooh.
I just
That was
wanted
good.
someone to scrub my toilets for me. But I think you have to just be willing to connect with your child and realize that they are in a whirlwind of emotions and trying to figure out how to be a mom on their own. And so it's kind of going back to that connection piece. Like, how can I have open and honest communication with my adult child who has now given birth to another human? And it seems like it would all fall into place. But just trying to serve them in what they may need during that season. And I think it changes. And as moms, we no, I'm going to do it this way, and you did it that way, but I'm going to do it this way, and kind of letting them figure those things out and not be offended that they want to do it differently or things like that would maybe help to start to build a connection. And then from there, just scrub their toilets. They would love that.
Oh, do you have one as well?
Just something to add.
Yeah.
I have 3 daughters, and I don't know what it is about having daughters that I'm like, I want to control them. I want to control the outcome. I want to control everything. I want them to look and act and, like, come on, girls, we're in this together. And it's just, that's not it. They don't need my control. They don't need my, and I feel like that letting go of that control, and I think it's specific for mother and daughters. Like, hey, she's not going to be the person that I think she needs to be or I want her to be. And I think that, letting go of that, helps with my mom and with me. Like, I'm not going to be who my mom wants me to be, and that's okay. And just letting our daughters be free for who God called them to be, and us being free who we're called to be.
Good. Our very last question, unfortunately, is how do I realistically trust God with my fear of something bad happening to my kid? How do I let go of the constant worry when I've seen loss and pain around me and I'm so afraid that could be me? I think that's real for so many of us. And we've kind of talked about trust and stuff today. Is there anything you guys do in your relationship with God, or when those worries come up, where do you go?
Prayer. Truly, I've walked through this season where I've sent my son off to, a state that's so far away, and I've had to really just dig in and pray for my fears, because anything could happen with him. But I know that he's not my responsibility. Natalie Twaddell talked last year or the year before at Madness about he's not my treasure to hold. It's the Lord's. And so when I recognize that I get to be in the front seat of my kids' lives, and when I can just do everything I can to pray for them like relentlessly, then I know that my bases are covered. And no matter what the outcome is, no matter what my deepest fear is going to be, if I have faith in knowing that the Lord has my kids, then it's all going to be okay.
Yeah.
It might not be the outcome I wanted, but it's going to be okay.
Yeah. And I think what I'm learning is that sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm gonna fix my fear. Like, I'm gonna fix my fear and then I'll come and pray. I'm gonna I'm gonna wrap it all up in a nice, neat Bible answer, put a bow on it and go, okay, I'm okay because I'm with God and we're okay. And what I'm still learning is like, God, I'm just gonna come to you and tell you all I'm afraid. This is what I'm flat out afraid of. And I'm just gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you that I'm afraid of this and I'm so fearful of that. And what if this happens? And I'm just gonna tell you, Jesus. I'm just gonna talk straight to you. There will be sometimes I'll be driving my car and I don't even know if this is a thing. It'll be so fun to see if we can someday. But I will be like, okay, God, I just need you to clear the car. If there's any like extra curricular, demonic, whatever, I just need you to clear it. I need you to clear the car right now because I just want to talk to you. And I will just talk about anything and everything, and I'm afraid, or I surrender. I surrender. I love that word, Natalie. I surrender. I just surrender. Here's my fears. I surrender my doubts. I surrender.
I also had a boss one time who, when I would start to kind of spin out, she would say, you just take that idea and you flick it right out of your head. Just flick, flick, flick. Get rid of that. That's not truth. Like, get rid of it. And when I started to recognize that I was spinning out about the possibility of things, I'd have to remind myself, flick that right out of your head. That is not truth. Like, cling to the truth.
Yeah, the what ifs can really mess with you.
Yeah.
There's a part of prayer practice that we don't really talk about a lot, and that's lament. And I think lamenting for the things we don't understand is the act of just saying, God, I don't understand why this is happening to my child, and I don't like it. And your prayer can end there. Our prayers don't have to end in, and I'm still learning, oh God, but I know you're good and I know you're going to take care of this. No. Our creator, our maker, he wants us to hear, he wants us to say, no, this situation that's happening right now, this is icky, this is stinky, I don't like it. I don't trust that you are going to care for my child. And I think that's okay.
Yeah.
I think for us to practice that relationship with God of lament, this is not the path that I wanted for my child. This is not the picture of my life that I thought was going to happen. Voice it, and he wants to hear it. And what the Lord chooses to do with that, whatever, but you are showing up as a daughter to say, I don't like this. And I think that's okay too.
That honest communication. Well, can you guys please give a round of applause for our women being vulnerable and honest? Thank you, girls.